Welcome to Deep Dive with Esther, where we connect with incredible people changing the world a brick at a time. Today, we have the honor of having Chief Tom Hanley with us. Thank you.
Hi, Esther.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. Thank you for saying yes.
You're welcome.
So, Middlebury is an incredible community filled with people who are just wanting to connect and make it a better place. And I see you as one of those people. Actually, I see you as a pillar, Tom. I do. I see you as a pillar in our community. So if you can talk to us about how did you get here?
Well, by happenstance, really. I had some relatives that are from Middlebury, the Middlebury area, and they were advertising for a police chief here. There had been some turmoil in the community with the department, and I saw it as an opportunity where I was working. I was a detective sergeant with a police department in Connecticut, and I'd been doing that for 17 years. And I had a window of opportunity. If I was going to change, this was the time to do it. Things all collided together and provided that opportunity. I actually came up here in early 1991 and met with the town manager, and we discussed a lot of things about the job, and she actually offered me a position. I turned it down at first. I was committed to a lot of things going down in Connecticut, cases and testifying, and I just, no way I could leave at that time. A few months later, they got a hold of me again. I went before an oral board here, made up of a number of community people and select board members, and through that, I was appointed the chief, and that was back in '91. And here I am.
Wow, and you're still here. Still here. When did you know that Middlebury was home for you? Because that was a tough move. Not tough, but different from Connecticut.
A little bit, but I grew up in a rural part of Connecticut.
Okay.
A very small community, farming community, a very close-knit community. And so coming up, the culture was not much different than what I had grown up with. I worked in a much larger community as a professional, but where I grew up, so that I didn't look at that as going to be a big change for me. And coincidentally, a lot of people that lived in Middlebury were from the area I came from, and some of them I knew.
Wow.
And I didn't know they were here.
Yeah, small world.
One of them was a farmer that had a farm right near where I grew up, so it was a nice welcome. It was a great community. I could see that when I came here. It was different than a number of other communities. I really liked the select board when I came here. They were really just down-to-earth people, and it was just a very welcoming community. When I came, before I was hired, I said, look, this is what I'm bringing to the table.
Yeah.
There's going to be some pain. There's going to be some pushback to the things I want to do and the things I want to implement, and I explained some of the things. I said, if you're not prepared to support me in this, then let's not both make a mistake.
Yes.
I'm happy where I am. I don't need to come here. And they agreed that this is a direction that they wanted to see the police department go, and here we are, still going.
They made the right call.
I like to think so. I like to think I made the right call.
Yeah, I think you both did.
Yeah.
In making the community better and being here, because I now know that you are here with your grands and the whole family, and so.
We kind of took over. My brother followed me up here. My sister followed me up here. She now has 9 kids. She's a nurse at Porter Hospital.
Wow.
So there's a lot of us here now.
Yeah. Oh, we love it. We love it. And so you've been doing amazing things for years now, but there's something in particular, a new project that you have been a voice for, migrant farm workers potentially becoming police officers.
Yes, this started way back 20-something years ago when I met with the folks from the Mexican consulate and some other folks in the area who were involved with the migrant community. And we knew that this getting them involved more in the community could really enrich the community. We wanted to first build assurances with that community that we're not headhunting them, that we're going to treat them just like everybody else, that if there's a problem, they can come to us for help. And slowly but surely, a number of them would come to us for help for different things. And we built, I think, some measure of trust with them over the years. And as we got into through the pandemic, policing was going through some significant changes. People weren't interested in this job anymore. There's a lot of challenges to it, and younger people just didn't seem to be interested in those challenges. And it hit me one day. I said, we've got this whole group of people working here that are looking for opportunity. We're looking for help. And maybe there's a crossing point between the opportunity and us looking for help. So we made arrangements last fall. Veronica Cambria was our lead person on this, and she queried a number of the workers to see, would you be interested in public service? A number of them were. So one by one, they came to the police station, imagine that. And came and sat down, and we had a sit-down meeting with, one at a time, with 3 of them last fall. I said, wow, these are just the candidates we're looking for. Well-spoken, educated, willing to work hard. You know, and they bring with them something that we're not finding in other applicants these days. They know struggle. They know what it's like for discrimination. They understand from that end of it. And what an asset to have people that already understand that we don't have to train them or bring them into that. And they were encouraged. I was encouraged, but then we had the old roadblock.
Of course.
It's the hiring roadblock. How do we do that? And this is where we're at today.
A major roadblock.
It is, but we didn't stop there. We got the Addison County legislative delegation together, and I ran this by them. Peter Conlin and the rest of them in our there's not much they could do to help us, but they just let us know that they supported this, and anything they could do to show support, they were 100% behind it. I met with Molly Gray about a month ago. And Molly, again, I says, we realized that we can't get past, there's a form called the I-9 that you have to fill out that makes, they have to be a legal employee to be able to get the Social Security number, and we can't cross that. We can't violate that kind of federal law. But again, she is running for the representative here. She pledged that she would be able to help us down the road, changing legislation or providing a road map for this to happen. Somebody from Senator Sanders' office met with us as well, and again pledged that kind of support, that there's nothing we can do right at this moment because there is federal law and there are issues with that. We were contacted by WCAX, who did a fairly long program on what we're trying to do, which was great. And about 2 weeks after that, I was at the Vermont Police Chiefs Conference. And years ago, when I went for them and brought folks from the Mexican consulate, when they talking about how our policing is going to adopt these folks as regular citizens of the town, they looked at me like I had 2 heads. Said, what are you, crazy? These are illegal people. Things have changed. A number of chiefs came up to us and were saying, how can we get on board with this? This is great. This is really, you're really stepping out doing this. So we're getting a lot of expressions of support from everybody. It's just going to take some kind of either executive action from the White House or legislatively to change something so that we can bring these folks here. They're here. They're not going anywhere. They're part of this community. Like it or not, we're not going to get into political issues about border control and all that. We are a civil police department. We deal with people. We deal with people that are here, and how can we help them? And that's really been our attitude all along with this.
Wow, it's powerful. It's powerful, and to hear that how times have changed and folks are more open to this idea, and they want to bring it to their communities is refreshing to hear.
It's great, and you know, we've tried recruiting strategies before on trying to bring some diversity to the police department. We've had a number of women officers with us over the years, and that's been really successful. But we've not been able to cross that bridge in bringing people to the police department. A lot of reasons. If they want to be police officers in the areas where they live, there's plenty of jobs that maybe pay more and have better benefits. So why would they come here? Have trouble finding housing? Why would they come here? You know, not know anybody. It's a different environment. So it's been a struggle for us. So like all struggles, we confront it and just don't drop it. We keep pushing and pushing and pushing.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that being a part of what you all do. Because the housing is definitely not the best right now. So how do you recruit? So that's hard.
How do you recruit from the outside?
Yeah.
When somebody has no family here they can stay with until they can find housing. Yeah, how do you do that? I don't know, and I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah. Me too. I don't know
You
either.
yourself who came here.
I know,
and
yes.
went through the same thing.
Still going through the same thing,
Yes.
actually.
Yeah.
And trying to figure out housing. But as you say, we're going to keep pushing through, right? Push through and figure out solutions. And the town is starting to do that with zoning.
I think so, and the college kind of gave us a shot in the arm with that Summit project on Seminary Street Extension, where they're going to build some affordable housing there, upwards of 100 units, I understand, either apartments or single-family housing, which will be good. I mean, I have a 32-year-old daughter that lives with me with her daughter. She lost her housing because it got sold and turned into something else, and nowhere to go. So she's moved in with me. She's been there about a year, looking to buy a house, but the market is slim.
Yes.
And so it's been a struggle. So we understand that.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, goodness. But there is hope. That's what I choose to believe.
Well, it does. Things are cyclical.
Yes.
And things will turn around. We're going through something right now that looking at 3 or 4 years down the road, there'll be a lot more opportunities for folks to do this. And even in the policing world, we've had periods, I've been a policeman now for 48 years.
Wow.
Going on number 49.
Wow.
So I've seen this cycle repeat itself over and over and over again, and it'll take a few years, and soon the jobs will become attractive again.
Yeah.
I hope.
Yeah. So going on 49 years. What has kept you going?
I don't know. I'm passionate about the work I do.
Yeah.
I'm right now, for the past 31 years, I've been in a great community, a community that's supportive. The experience has been incredible. Nothing I would have ever imagined.
Yeah.
Most police chiefs are on the job anywhere from 3 to 5 years.
Oh, wow.
And then they either go to a different job somewhere or they cycle out or retire. And I'm just like that bad penny that you keep finding. It just doesn't go away.
Yeah.
But eventually I will have to move on. And, we try to set a process in place so that whenever that transition occurs, it'll be smooth.
Yep.
That we can get a good chief to take over for me, a better one maybe than me.
That's a high standard, high bar.
It is, but one of the things coming into a new department is you've got to establish the culture that you want it to be.
Yeah.
Because that's the most critical point. You can have all these wonderful ideas and want to do all these wonderful things, but if nobody believes in you, it doesn't go anywhere. If you're a chief for a few years, you write out the culture that's there and you go. And you've seen it so many times, and so many police departments around the country. They just have the culture runs the department. The chief comes and goes, and I wasn't going to do that.
Yeah.
I told them at my hiring, I'm here to stay. I'm not going anywhere. Understand, it's going to take a few years to do this, so we're all going to be on this ride together.
Yes. You were clear about that, and that's important. I think that's
absolutely. I mean, that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
And people coming into the job are now absorbed into the culture that we've built, rather than being absorbed into a bad culture of maybe some corruption or biases or just kind of bad behavior.
Yeah.
And we've been able to work that out, and I think get us to a good place. So that with the culture that we've built here, I think it's going to be able to perpetuate itself.
Yeah.
I'm confident of that at any rate.
And what would you say is the key to creating that culture?
The key is having something to stand for and believing in it, and you've got to do that every day when you're there. You've got to talk it. You've got every day when you're coming into work as a chief, you talk to your subordinates.
Yeah.
This is what we're doing. This is what we're going to do. You stay away from some of the trash talking stuff that tends to go on, the locker room talk.
Yeah.
And you stay above that, and you set the tone for what your department wants to be, and you bring people along if they believe in you. And fortunately, we've got a good department. Some of them have been there now for years.
Wow.
And they're here to stay. So they believe in this, and it's the hiring process. This is what we believe in as a police department. This is what we believe in a culture. Even on our cars, you see it. It says Guardians of the Peace.
Yes.
You know, we stay away from the tough guy stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
whatever they are, the slogans you've seen on TV with
Yeah.
these police cars,
Yeah.
to protect and serve and all. We're guardians of the peace. That's what we are, and that's the really the mantra that we set in the department, because that's who we are, what we are. When you come in, you're expected to believe in that, or you don't get in the door. So we have our little kind of orientation with the new officers that come in, and this is where we're going, and that's supported by the officers that are there on the street every day.
Wonderful.
So they kind of buy into it. You know, I worked in a department which had a bunch of different cultures, depending on what shift you worked on. It developed their own mindset and cultures. And some of the stuff was really not healthy, and it wasn't good for the department. So I was able to live and learn through those experiences. And you've come from a place not far from me.
Yes.
And you've probably seen some of the
Oh,
some of the
yes.
things that went on out there.
So interesting. So, yeah, I'm from Bridgeport, Connecticut.
That's right.
So we were neighbors.
That's right.
And it's so funny because my thought was like, yep, I'm going to leave here. It's time for me to find something new. And I was attracted to the rural community and small town living. And it's been one of the best decisions I've made.
And you know what people do here? They smile.
Yes. And you know, it's so interesting because I visited my sister in D.C.
Yes.
And we're going for a walk, and I'm smiling and saying hi to everybody. She's like, Esther, we don't really do that here. And after I left, she was like, now I'm smiling and saying hi to everybody. But yeah, it's not common.
Yeah.
So it's refreshing.
It is, and that's how really it was where I grew up.
Yeah.
We were not a well-off family. My mom had 8 children, and we struggled. But the neighbors pitched in. You know, the farmer would bring over a jug of milk, or somebody would catch a big fish, a bluefish.
Yeah.
You know, fishing bluefish in Connecticut.
Yeah.
He'd bring over a bluefish for us, and then, you know, hay in time, the farmer got paid back by looking at the kids, because I need help haying.
Yeah.
Or we'd be out in the field pitching the bales. Well, as best you could as a kid, pitching bales up into the wagon. So that was kind of my background, and the kind of learning we came from, how to take care of each other. And we believe that on the police department.
Nice.
Most of our calls here are service type calls.
Yep.
In the past few years, dealing with the folks with a variety of mental health and social issues.
Yeah.
And, you know, again, we're guardians of the peace.
Yeah.
We do the best we can. We're not trying to avoid any of the adversarial contacts.
Yeah.
We do what we can. So.
Yeah, well, you're doing a great job.
So far, so
yeah,
good.
so far, so good. I'm proud to be a part of this town and a part of, you know, Middlebury.
Yeah, and it's great to have the select board that we have, which is a great board. You see some of the meetings in some of the other communities, and you know, a little more adversarial.
Yeah.
Here, they're going in a good direction, and it's respectful. The meetings are wonderful. There's even a lot of laughing at the meetings.
There is.
There is. Serious business, but we all put it in perspective.
Yes. No, being a newbie, I've felt like the select board has been just wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
And good learning ground. You know, folks give me the space I need to learn, to grow, to create, you know, build my voice.
Yeah, that's a great thing. We've seen that over the years with new select board members coming in. You know, they're given that space to, you know, just to learn the community and learn the processes and how things go, and develop their own kind of opinion on things, you know, budget-wise or practice-wise or policy-wise, and see how things are going. It's been great. And then, of course, you get wrapped up in all these little committees where, that's great.
Well, my final question for you is, what's the legacy you want to leave?
You know, a legacy. Just personally, when I'm gone, somebody will think, well, that guy did a pretty good job when he was here.
Yeah.
You know, he was a good man, did a good job when he was here. But I'd like to leave a police department that espouses the kind of values that we've instilled here, and that replicates year after year.
Yeah.
You know, the kind of being able to listen, to be flexible when need be, to just be respectful of everybody, you know, and understand folks. And that's really what I'd like to leave behind.
I think you've already started. Well, thank you so much, Chief, for being here, for sharing what you all have been doing.
Thank you, Esther.
Yeah.
Thank you
Thank you for
the
taking
work that you've done.
Oh,
And for being on the select board. It's a big job.
it is.
Time consuming, and especially with 2 young children, it's tough.
It can be, yes. And this is where I'm so grateful for community,
Yeah.
right? You know, when you tell the story of the farmer coming in with the fish, and but you know that they're going to call you for the hay, that I felt that community here, where I've had sitters, folks taking the kids, folks bringing me meals once a week. So I'm not alone. So I'm able to be present.
That's what about one of your predecessors, my bandmate, Cindy Hill, was on the select board back in the mid-90s, early 90s.
Yeah.
She had a daughter, and she'd be at the meetings, and her little daughter, Evelyn, would be under the table playing with her toys.
I love that.
That's great.
I love that. I love that.
And I'd be here after a ball game with my 2 young sons, play Little League. And I'd set up a table in the hallway when I had to come in and do whatever the selectmen. They'd be out in the hallway playing with their stuff or doing their homework or whatever.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
I love that.
So it's very, you get this sense of community that's not so rigid that you can't do that kind of stuff or it's frowned upon.
Yeah, which I'm so grateful for. So grateful for. So thank you for taking a deep dive with
You're welcome.
Esther. Thank you.